Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 31, 031, The Leader of the Shadow Troll Group. The elements of Hellfire appear. A hidden warehouse outside of Bugera. Inside the warehouse, numerous drones hovered in midair, and from time to time, they mapped a piece of realistic flame image, which made people feel like they were there. Boom. As more drones were activated, a huge amounts of fire elemental monster appeared, wantonly destroying surrounding buildings. Guys, no equipment went wrong tonight. No Shadow Troll Group. Tonight is laying the groundwork for the final scene. Quote. The mysterious guest Quentin stood under the drone, with a serious expression on his brows, and his sharp eyes swept over everyone, to pave the way for a brand new savior to be born into the world soon. So there must be absolutely no mistakes. The last time he fought against the water elemental crowd was originally a superhero drama prepared for him alone. The result was interrupted by the sudden appearance of the Black Shadow Troll Group. Today's plan must be successful no matter what. Otherwise, his lies would stop there. Quentin, but Scarlet Witch is here too, and her ability is real magic. Wilhelm, who is in charge of the background data of the drone, reminded. Damn it, as long as the Hellfire elementals are taken offline before Scarlet Witch arrives, there won't be any problems. The mysterious guest Quentin frowned. The appearance of Scarlet Witch was completely unexpected. After all, he investigated all the information of the Avengers before, and knew where everyone was, in order not to have any accidents. It turned out that the day before the plan, Scarlet Witch actually bought a Venice package at a travel agency. Well, we'll do our best to find a way to stop Scarlet Witch from going to the scene. Wilhelm nodded. Okay everyone, a good show is about to debut, get ready to watch it. The mysterious guest Quentin opened his hands, and the drone around him reflected a layer of light on his body. In the blink of an eye, the light covered a brand new battle suit. With the battle suit completely covered, a cloud of dark green mist wrapped around his body, and Quentin Baker's figure was completely swallowed in the next second. At the moment, the playground in Bugera is brightly lit. This ancient European city is holding a grand festival of lights. Some people think that the Festival of Lights is the biggest party in the world, where countless people gather in entertainment venues for carnival. The square is crowded with people, and countless people gather here to feel the festive atmosphere. Whoosh! On the roof of the house, a figure as flexible as a spider flitted past, and landed steadily on the top of the tower, overlooking the scene below. Peter, are you there yet? Don't tell me you haven't left yet. Under the mask, Peter listened to Nick Fury's nagging, and replied with some helplessness, I've arrived, but I haven't found anything unusual so far. His task tonight is to detect the enemy's situation, because the exact location of the enemy's appearance is not yet known. Boom. Just as Peter was investigating the situation, a figure suddenly fell beside him. Hey, who are you? The young little Spider-Man was startled, and hurriedly backed away. With the help of the light below, he could see the person in front of him clearly. It is a man dressed in oriental retro black clothes. He wears a mask with gold patterns, and his deep and majestic eyes are full of mystery. It was Lizzie who came, and he said slowly, Don't be nervous, I won't hurt you. Peter, is there someone next to you? A puzzled voice came from Peter Parker's ear. He paused and replied, Well, but I don't know him. No, you know me, Black Shadow Troll Group. Lizzie is too lazy to beat around the bush. Anyway, the netizen outside has already given him a new vest, so he doesn't recommend using it. Adertisement. What? You are from the Black Shadow Trolls? When Peter Parker heard the words, his eyes lit up and he immediately leaned over. He is no stranger to the Black Shadow Troll Group. Those big guys just eliminated the Water Elemental Group yesterday. To be precise, I am the leader of the Black Shadow Troll Group, and I am here today to deal with the Hellfire Elemental crowd. Lizzie said slowly. Originally little Spider-Man and Nick Fury didn't believe that Lizzie was a member of the Black Shadow Trolls, but when they heard about the Hellfire Elemental Queen, they believed it, because the matter about the elements was not spread because the time was too short. Only a few people in the world know about it. Other than that, the only one who could know was the Black Shadow Troll Group. Their actions yesterday were obviously aimed at the water elemental crowd. With you here, it will be very easy to deal with the Hellfire elementals. Peter Parker witnessed the powerful strength of the Black Shadow Troll Group, and those big guys could even tear apart the water elemental group. Not to mention, their boss. The strength is definitely not weak. I do my best. Under the mask, Li Zi smiled speechlessly. The little Spider-Man is too innocent, too easy to trust others. A word or two will convince him. No wonder he was played around by Lao Yinbi mystery guest. Kai. When the two communicated, not far from the playground square, a statue stands above the fountain. Suddenly, the whole body of the statue began to turn red, and the high temperature emitted caused the surrounding air to condense water vapor visible to the naked eye. Coo coo coo. Accompanied by bursts of grunts, the water in the fountain pool gradually boiled, and hot water splashed out. There's something wrong with the statue. The statue is getting hot. Tourists passing by naturally noticed the changes in the statue, and the temperature in the surrounding air climbed, making people sweat on their foreheads. Eerie vibe led many people back to the rear, with a look of fear on their faces. Next second, boom, I saw the red and hot statue suddenly burst open, and the endless flames shone for a moment, and hot magma spewed from it. Cracks were visible to the naked eye on the floor, and magma flowed out of the torn hole. Roar. A huge lava titan that looks like a Serta rises from the ground, and the moment it appears, the air temperature rises sharply. Under the influence of high temperature, countless light bulbs around them shattered and burst one after another. Bang bang bang. Gift crab, the Hellfire Elementals are here. Peter Parker hurriedly pressed the Bluetooth headset. Mystery, the Hellfire Elementals have appeared. Coming. In the sky, a green mist that covered the sky swept up. In an instant, a figure broke through the fog and descended from the sky, punching huge amounts of lava titan on the head. Huge amounts of impact caused the lava titan to roll over, destroying several buildings. Peter Parker, help me evacuate people. Under the illusion. The mysterious Quentin did not fly in the air to fight against the Hellfire Elementals. Instead, wearing a device helmet, stood on the ground and looked around, searching for little Spider-Man. Then he noticed a strange figure. His expression changed slightly and he asked, Peter, who is that person? He is the boss of the Black Shadow Troll group. With his help, we will be more relaxed. Chapter 32. He is the boss of the Black Shadow Troll group. With his help, we will be more relaxed. Little Spider-Man Peter was afraid that the mysterious guest would not hear him, so he shouted loudly. Don't worry, you two, Sombra, won't let the elements go unnoticed. Seeing this, Li Zi also yelled. Shadow. It was a code name he thought of on the spur of the moment, and it just fits with the Shadow Core and the image style of the organization. Damn, it's the Black Shadow Troll group again. In the illusion. The mysterious guest's face was ashen, and he gritted his teeth angrily, and the veins on his forehead popped out. I thought it was just an accidental coincidence that the Black Shadow Troll group appeared to destroy my plan. However, I didn't expect to run into a member of the Black Shadow Troll group again. Does it mean his plans were leaked? For a while, the mystery guest panicked. He was worried that things would be revealed and all previous efforts would be in vain. At the same time, boom, at the scene, the lava titan, which was projected by countless drones, shot up into the sky with a big hand and swallowed up all the surrounding metal substances. Quentin, now is not the time to be in a daze. Hurry up and find a way to get the Hellfire elements offline. A reminder from his companion sounded in the ear of the mysterious guest, bringing him back to reality. So he hurriedly manipulated the drone to create the scene of a big battle. I saw, in the huge playground. After the huge lava titan devoured the metal substance, its body began to grow constantly, and the temperature it radiated also gradually increased. In the surrounding air, there is a billowing heat wave. The bright flames from its body light up the dark playground before. Like a meteorite falling in the night. You two, don't watch since you're here, and help me lead the Hellfire Elementals into an open place. Otherwise it will devour all metal around it. In the eyes of outsiders. The mysterious guest stepped on the green mist and walked in the sky, turned his head and shouted at the two of them. Just finished. Boom. The lava titan stepped on the floor, and the earth's crust trembled instantly, bursting into countless cracks. The impact force brought by the movement of the earth's crust directly caused the thick floor to rise into the sky along with the hot magma. The affected houses were instantly surrounded by a sea of flames. Oh thanks, Nick, where's Wanda? We need her help. Peter Parker was startled when he saw this. Hastily jumped up, swinging his body in front of the lava titan. The high temperature made him gasp for breath. Whoosh. Boom. Fortunately, the lava titan noticed him and chased after him with big strides, dancing with his incomparably huge fists, wishing to hammer the weak figure in midair to death. Night Monkey Man, be careful, let me help you. Li Zi stood up from the ground and flew towards the direction of the hellfire elements. The hands exude a faint white light, which is eye-catching. Hey, Sombra, don't get close to it. This guy is very angry now. Just take it to an open area. When the mysterious guest saw the menacing man in black high in the sky, he panicked for a moment. After all, that is not the real hellfire elemental crowd. Just a bunch of drones. Just rushing up like this, I am afraid that the drone will be smashed. At this time, Wilhelm's voice came from his ear, Quentin, I have prepared a flame bomb. I'm worried that something will happen. He seems to know our plan. The mysterious guest looked worried. He was a little uncertain about the mind of the Black Shadow Troll group, whether the other party really knew about his plan. Now that you know it, why not expose it directly? Thinking about it, he decisively called out the drone's flame bomb. Automatically lock on to Li Zi flying in. Boom! A flame bomb with bright flames flew straight in the direction of Li Zi. In the eyes of outsiders, it was just a huge amount of flame ball. Shadow beware! Little Spider-Man yelled loudly. Really? Li Zi frowned slightly in surprise. It seemed that the mystery guest had already begun to doubt himself. Otherwise, they would not directly use flame bombs to test. But obviously, he underestimated the opponent. When the flame bomb was about to touch the figure in midair, a huge frozen wall emerged, and the cold air was overwhelming, blocking the fireball abruptly. Boom! The moment the fireball touched the frozen wall, the burst of air waves frantically raged around, making bursts of neighing. Countless debris and wreckage on the ground splashed into the sky. This guy, the mysterious guest, blocked the raging wind with difficulty, swallowed, and his handsome face moved. This time he really panicked, because the other party is a real magician. Freezing is also real freezing, not special effects projection. It was only a matter of time before a magician saw that there was something wrong with the hellfire elementals. Unexpectedly, she racked her brains with great difficulty to lure Scarlet Witch away. Now there is another one. At the same time, the other side of the city. In a dark alley, no one. Wanda looked around at the dark and humid environment, her brows revealed seriousness. Half a minute ago, when the hellfire elemental crowd appeared. As soon as she was notified by Nick Fury, she saw something like a ghost appearing on the street corner. Previously, when she was looking for Doctor Strange in New York City, she had seen illustrations in books of Ghost, an ancient and murderous embodiment of evil that likes to suck people's souls. So she followed Ghost first, and didn't go to deal with the hellfire elementals immediately. But now I followed the alley and found that there was nothing there, only a few trash cans, and rats scurrying into the sewer. What happened? Wanda, who originally planned to continue walking in, suddenly constricted her pupils, and suddenly raised her head to look in the direction of the flames. Someone over there has a mysterious attraction to her. It's a breath of magic. That magic breath just resonated with the origin magic power in her body. The two are inseparable. Who is it? Feeling the strong magical atmosphere, Wanda resolutely gave up chasing Ghost. The whole person soared into the air and flew towards the direction of the hellfire elements. A figure appeared at the corner of the street. He lowered his head and said in a deep voice, Quentin, Scarlet Witch is heading to your side. Chapter 33. Prague Playground. The lava titan made up of hellfire elements, the monstrous fire that radiates from its body is becoming more and more vigorous, and the soaring flames shroud the dim urban area. The high temperature distorted the air, and the billowing heat wave raged and churned. However, it is in such an extreme high temperature environment. But there is a 10-meter-long frozen wall standing in the center, and the substantive cold gradually engulfs the heat wave. Shet. Mysterious guest Quentin's scalp tingled for a while. There was a super magician at the scene, and Scarlet Witch was on his way. He angrily kicked away the stones beside his feet. The plan fell through again. The hellfire elemental crowd is the last elemental crowd written in his previous script. Originally, according to the script and plan, if he solved it by himself, his popularity would also push to the top. At that time, execute the last script. He will become a brand new superhero, the successor of Iron Man. Now it's clearly going to fail. Quentin, don't worry, the script in London will still make Mysterio go down in history. The mysterious guest Quentin heard Wilhelm's prompt in his ear. Wilhelm, get the Hellfire elementals offline. Mysterio knows that this is the only way things can go now, and he won't be able to leave when Wanda comes. After all, Wanda has a very strong telepathy ability. No matter how strong the technology of Stark Industries is, it cannot escape her perception. As soon as his voice fell, boom, I saw that the huge lava titan suddenly roared to the sky, and its open mouth formed a vortex, constantly absorbing the surrounding substances. The sand grains on the ground trembled violently and flew up, and metal fragments were also involved. Mystery. It has changed again. Little Spider-Man Peter swung around and found that the Hellfire elementals hadn't kept up. When he turned his head, he was pulled by the head-on suction force, and the cobweb wrapped around the wall collapsed. I'm going to fall. He was so frightened that his expression became tense, and he quickly threw out the cobweb, and the cobweb seemed to be glued with an invisible object. But he didn't have time to notice. The cobweb collapsed again, and his whole body fell to the ground. After the lava titan absorbed countless substances, the fire emanating from its body has gradually threatened the surrounding environment, and the grass on the roadside ignited a raging fire. Sombra, use your ice ability to deal with it. Your ability just restrains it. High in the sky, the mysterious guest shouted with difficulty against the flames. No problem, you two stay away. Lizzie lamented that Mysterio is really a qualified actor. Even at this point, he can still act calmly in times of crisis. It's no wonder that he has been working hard in Tony's company for many years, and only now has he begun to reveal his ambition. Thinking about it, his hands glowed white. The original frozen wall turned into water and spewed out suddenly, like an ancient water dragon, entangled the lava titan across the sky. Next second, the water dragon splits and turns into a water polo, completely devouring the lava titan. Whoosh! Just for a split second, the lava titan disappears. Fly away. Through the projection illusion, Lizzie saw several drones flying out of the city taking advantage of the gap. It seemed that Mysterio was really afraid of being exposed, so he almost removed all the drones at once. Only a few planes were left circling around. It's over. Peter Parker got up from the ground and found that the playground had become dark again, and the previous lava titan had disappeared. All that was left was a mess. The slate bricks were scorched black. There was a pungent smell in the air. It's over, your friend helped us. The mysterious guest landed slowly, took off his helmet and said with a complicated expression. Although he felt that he might have been exposed, but the play had to be a full set, so he didn't leave directly. The elements of Hellfire are all the same, and they don't seem to be strong. After a while, Lizzie also fell from the sky, patting away the dust that didn't exist on his body, and said in an understatement. No, Sombra is because you are too powerful. You solved the crisis from the multi-universe with just one move. Don't be surprised. I was also surprised by the multi-universe at first, but this is indeed real. As soon as little Spider-Man meets someone he can talk to, he will automatically trigger the chatterbox mode, and he can't stop talking when he is angry. The main reason is that Lizzie is too strong. He can easily deal with the Hellfire elementals that Mysterio is difficult to deal with by himself. And the whole thing is, to put it mildly, way too cool for a high school kid. Stop, you talk too much. Lizzie hurriedly told him to shut up, then looked at the nervous mysterious guest next to him, and said with a smile, are you nervous? No, the mystery guest just spoke. Standing opposite, Lizzie stretched out his hand, patted him on the shoulder like an elder, and said in an affirmative tone, don't be nervous, I know I'm strong, and the Black Shadow Troll is a popular superhero now, but you also not bad. Thanks for the recognition. When the mysterious guest said this, he almost gritted his teeth. I can't wait to bite my teeth into pieces. Because of the Black Shadow Troll group, the popular superhero, and the savior superhero who defeated the elements. It should have been his mystery guest. As a result, all the other people have been fulfilled now, and the person who was fulfilled is still standing in front of him, showing off his might, pretending to be unpredictable. But at this moment, Wilhelm's words brought him back to his senses. Quentin, he didn't expose you, and he didn't seem to find any problems. These words brought the mysterious guest back to his senses, as if it was true. He doesn't seem to be exposed. Whoosh. While thinking about it. Horizon. Under the moonlight, a beautiful figure emerged. She was wearing a scarlet windbreaker, and her cold white skin looked as white as jade under the moonlight. Like a queen in the frozen age, but those glowing red pupils are like a sexy medieval witch. It's Wanda. Peter Parker raised his head and noticed Cheneying, and was pleasantly surprised. Lizzie looked at the beautiful figure in the sky, and took a deep breath. Why didn't he realize that Wanda under the moonlight is so beautiful that it's breathtaking? Whoosh. In the next second, Wanda had already fallen from the sky and landed gracefully in front of everyone, with her beautiful eyes glowing scarlet and extremely charming. Lizzie, the man in black among the three, was immediately locked. Who are you? Chapter 34. Who are you? The moonlight shines on Wanda's face like a tool, but it can't hide the doubt revealed between her brows. He is Sombra, the leader of the Sombra troll group yesterday. You know, they are also dealing with the elementals, so he also appeared in Prague, and subdued the Hellfire elementals with only 2 moves. Peter Parker opened the blindfold on the headgear, and saw that it was an acquaintance who automatically triggered the chattering mode. The speed of speech was so fast that he spit out a long paragraph in a few seconds. Peter, stop. I'm a little dizzy from what you're talking about. Lizzie patted little Spider-Man on the shoulder, then politely extended his hand to Wanda. Hi, my name is Sombra. Hi, I'm Wanda, Scarlet Witch. Wanda responded politely, but at the moment of shaking hands, she always felt that the two seemed to know each other. But she was sure that she had never seen anyone from the Black Shadow group. Moreover, the magic breath she had just perceived made her feel very subtle. Scarlet Witch, I know you are the strongest Avenger, seeing is believing. Lizzie responded calmly. He wasn't worried that Wanda's telepathy ability would discover his true identity, even if the two had been together for so long. Perhaps Wanda, who is a telepathy, has had some kind of connection with him. But his magic attainments are not weak, and it is more than enough to resist Wanda's telepathy. Thank you for the compliment, and thank you for helping us defeat the Hellfire Elementalists. I'm sorry for what happened just now. I should have arrived earlier. Wanda heard the strongest Avenger and thought of Lizzie, so she couldn't help but want to go back quickly. I don't know what he is doing in the hotel. At this moment, several black SUVs rushed over, and a one-eyed black man with a bald head got out of the front car. He strode forward and said slowly, Wanda, you don't have to blame yourself, Ghost is also a threat. As he spoke, his eyes fell on Lizzie. Sir, thank you for everything you have done. You stopped the disaster in time. What our world lacks most now is talents like you, unlike some people who just want to escape. Peter Parker on the side stepped back. He knew in his heart that these words were alluding to himself. I think about going to play during the holidays all day long, and don't take the superhero missions to heart at all. But that's the truth, he just wants to live the life of an ordinary person. You're welcome, it's a little effort, Lizzie said modestly. No, your strength is obvious to all. I sincerely hope to join S.H.I.E.L.D., and we will work together to protect the fragile world. Nick Fury had a smile on his lips. Forget it. Lizzie was speechless. The black stewed egg was really an old fox, and he said for a long time that this was what he wanted to say the most. Say what you say to join S.H.I.E.L.D. In other words, it is actually joining S.H.I.E.L.D. so that it can be monitored. Sir, I very much hope that you can seriously consider it, and we can maintain a cooperative relationship. Seeing this, Nick Fury wanted to continue to dissuade him. Fury, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been in decline for 5 years, and it can't even compare to the Heavenly Sword game, so don't mention this matter again. Lizzie was a little impatient and interrupted him directly. Director Nick Fury, in fact, just wants to better maintain the world. The mysterious guest, who was left alone for a long time and ignored by no one, had an extremely gloomy handsome face. Because, all the treatment should be his. He is the one who deserves the most attention. But now everyone is turning around the shadow. And he was like air, no one took the initiative to say a word to him during the whole process. Sorry, it's late, it's time to go to bed, the early bird gets the worm the next day. Lizzie glanced at the non-existent watch and snapped his fingers. Goodbye, everyone. The words fell. Whoosh. Before the others could react, his whole body turned into a cloud of white mist, and when the white mist dissipated, the figure had already disappeared. Cool. Peter Parker stepped forward and stepped on it. There was nothing there, his eyes filled with amazement. A true magician. The mysterious guest Quentin also had to admit that he was jealous. At this time, Wilhelm's voice sounded again. Quentin, he didn't expose you in front of Nick Fury. It seems that he didn't know the truth. Bring Peter Parker to the bar, and the plan can continue. Quentin took a deep breath and looked at Peter pretending to be tired. Peter, are you interested in having a drink? I have something I want to talk to you about. Well, but I'm underage, so I can only drink juice. Peter Parker did not refuse, mainly because he felt that Mysterio was also a good teacher and helpful friend, a real superhero. To avenge his own universe, he is willing to give everything. Seeing that everyone was leaving, Wanda turned around and prepared to leave. It's so late, I don't know if Lizzie is asleep. Wanda, do you see the problem with Sombra? Seeing this, Nick Fury hurried over. He is a super agent. The most cautious person in the world naturally cannot trust anyone easily. He has no evil intentions. What else do you have? Wanda frowned slightly, a little impatient. She has to go back to accompany Lizzie. There is one thing that needs your participation. There will be a meeting in Germany in 2 days. I hope you can participate. You are the only Avenger who can participate now. Nick Fury said slowly. Fury, I said I'd help you deal with the elementals, for the last time. Wanda shook her head. I swear, the meeting in Germany will also be the last time you will attend the meeting. Unless it is the end of the world, I will not look for you again for other things. Nick Fury pleaded. Come on, as the head of the Avengers, but I can't even summon a single Avenger right now. If only Tony and Steve knew the current. One last time, and there will be no next time, Fury. Wanda got a headache when she heard him mentioning the two old friends and playing emotional cards. Think of it as Captain America and Tony, the two former spiritual leaders of the Avengers, attending the Avengers meeting for the last time. Wait a minute and the SHIELD plane will take you to Germany. I think you and your little boyfriend will like their rigor and football. Nick Fury breathed a sigh of relief when he heard this. If you can't find any Avengers, I don't know how many people are watching SHIELD jokes. Wanda ignored him. Scarlet light wrapped around his body, lifted him up and flew towards the hotel. Chapter 35. A 5-star, resplendent hotel in Prague. The door to the third-floor room opened. Lee, are you asleep? Wanda opened the door expectantly and walked through the hallway, only to find that there was no one on the big bed, only a few pieces of clothing randomly placed on it. Crack, crack, sorry, I was taking a shower just now and I haven't cleaned the room yet. Lizzie wiped her wet hair, and her delicate face after bathing was foggy in the low temperature of autumn. You didn't sneak out just now, did you? Wanda picked up the messy clothes on the bed and asked casually. She doesn't want to restrict Lizzie's freedom. But tonight's Prague is too dangerous. The appearance of hellfire elements almost destroys the playground, and there is still a mysterious ghost that has not been dealt with. No, I've been staying in the room. Lizzie walked over calmly, put his arms around her waist, buried his head on her neck, and asked softly, are you tired from the mission? I'm not tired. I didn't make any effort at all. They were all taken care of by the Sombra. That person is very powerful. Nick Fury shouldn't have to worry about the fact that there won't be a new superhero in the world. Feeling the warmth in her arms, Wanda briefly recounted what happened tonight. She didn't notice, however. Lizzie, who was buried in his neck, didn't listen at all. His voice gradually became hoarse and dangerous. Well, you are so tired from the mission, this time it's my turn to reward you. I'm not tired, just let go. Wanda gradually realized that something was wrong, and she stuck out her tongue as soon as she spoke. Thinking of how tossed this guy was yesterday. Definitely mainly because I believed in his nonsense, saying that he did not cross the line, the result was. In addition to not crossing the line, there is really only not crossing the line. Wanda quickly pushed and pulled him away. Don't mess around, we're going to fly to Germany later. What? Lizzie was stunned. Aren't you going back to Zhejiang town? Lee, I forgot to discuss with you in advance. The plan has changed temporarily. I have to attend a security meeting. Wanda was afraid that he would be angry, so she quickly explained. Nick Fury said, this is the last time, after this time, I will no longer be an Avenger. Lizzie's eyes were dark and gloomy. He originally didn't care. Anyway, it would take a week at most to leave the hiding place. It's only been 2 days now, and he's not in a hurry to go back. After all, after staying in Zhejiang town for so long, it is not recommended to go out more. Only, Black Braised Egg is afraid that this is his Wanda being used as a tool man. And this time, without thinking too much, Captain America and Tony must be kidnapped morally again. The former is one of Wanda's few heart-to-heart friends, and the latter is the hero who saves the world. I have to say, I can handle Wanda very well. It seems necessary to teach Nick Fury a lesson and let him improve his memory. You'll love that, Fury said. The football atmosphere in Germany is great, don't you love football too? Seeing his silence, Wanda sat down in a panic and persuaded softly. I didn't say no, but there is one thing you have to remember. I don't like German football as much as China's national football team, as well as Bayern Munich football. Li Zi complained secretly in his heart. His home team's eternal enemy, the evil German, has made him have tragic memories both in the club and the national team. Well, we don't go there to watch football. Hearing this, Wanda was relieved knowing that Li Zi was not angry. Afterwards, the two of them didn't delay anymore, simply packed up their clothes, said goodbye to Peter Parker in the dormitory next door, and headed to the pickup location. Not long after, a high-tech Quinjet appeared in the dark and picked them up. In the cabin, Black Marinated Egg, we meet again. Sitting on the sofa, Li Zi looked up and saw the one-eyed black man coming out of the cabin. Boy, you are lucky to be able to fly on this plane. Quinjet is the most advanced fighter jet in S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury sat across the table and said proudly. But, it has been used for more than 10 years, or even longer, hasn't it? Li Zi interrupted him with a word. How do you know? Danger flashed across Nick Fury's eyes. Sure enough, this guy has a problem. Old guy, I saw the Avengers using it more than 10 years ago. Now it's 2024. Quinjet is already an old thing. Li Zi said unhurriedly. Fact. Nick Fury was at a loss for words for a moment, and he suddenly realized that Quinjet had appeared during the New York War. 12 years have now passed. Lee, you are the first person who can shut his mouth. Wanda, who had been laughing and not saying a word, leaned forward and whispered in Li Zi's ear. Wanda, I can hear, but he's second, Tony Stark first. Nick Fury shook his head, and added, unfortunately, you can't be Tony Stark. According to our reporter's report, a supernatural attack occurred in Prague tonight, and the attacker was finally solved by members of the Black Shadow Corps. At this time, news came from the wall-mounted TV, interrupting the conversation of several people. It's the Black Shadow Group, they've been big celebrities these 2 days. Li Zi pretended to be surprised. This organization is very powerful, and so far, we have not found any clues about them. Nick Fury looked at the screen, and the figure in midair raised his hand and released the frozen wall. He said in a low voice unwillingly, if it was 5 years ago, I would have turned the Shadow Group upside down. Not necessarily. After all, he is right in front of your eyes, and you can't find any clues. Li Zi took a sip of wine and said quietly, the investigation is not as simple as you think. Shiete, I am actually trying to explain the idea of a super agent to an ordinary person. I am really crazy. Nick Fury waved his hand, complained and got up and walked towards the cockpit. Don't pay attention to him, Lee, your life is already what countless people yearn for. Wanda frowned slightly, comforting. It's okay, my life is perfect. Staring at the beautiful face in front of her, Li Zi slowly moved closer and kissed her. You, Lee, don't. A few minutes later, Wanda covered her rosy lips, curled up in the corner of the sofa with an aggrieved face, looked at the Oriental man in front of her red eyes, and her eyes were full of complaints. Lee, have you ever heard of Vixen? What's the meaning? I mean, are you going to suck me dry? At the same time. 5-star hotel in Prague. In the corner of the monitoring blind spot. A cloud of black mist emerged out of thin air, and for a moment the black mist condensed into a human form. A woman with a kind face but evil eyes strode out. She took a deep breath, her expression suddenly gloomy. They actually left again. Agatha was angry. She had just arrived in Venice before, but Li Zi and Wanda came to Prague. Now she came to Prague, and the two of them left again. Okay, Li Zi, you dare to run around the world with my stuff, don't let me catch you. Word off. Her figure turned into a black mist. Only a black feather was left on the spot, slowly falling down. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.